Hi Sagittarius, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot. My name is Carol and this is your May 2024 reading. So, if you're new to my channel, I'm glad you found me. This is a fairly new channel. I started it in December 2023. And if you're coming back, hey, I like that also. So, we're going to get going with your reading. And what I'm going to do this month, Sagittarius, is I'm going to look at your healing map. So we're going to get an idea of where you are in the beginning. I want to look at, what situation you're sitting in. Is it a pattern that's coming up for you? Are there people that are showing up in your life, in your space, that are always the same type of people and you can't figure out why? Are you dealing with a struggle, an issue? Maybe you're sitting in some depression. Maybe there's some addictions that you're becoming aware of. So we're going to look at that. And then once we figure that out, we're going to look at what needs healing. Now, it's really important that we look at what needs healing for this situation, because it's having a huge impact on why you're sitting in it. Because what's happening is there's something that's coming up from your shadow. And so we're going to do some shadow work. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the terms shadow or shadow work, I'm going to link a video at the end. And I'm also going to link it in the description box below. And it's called my powerful 4-step guide for shadow work. And it's about facing your shadow. It's about how to face your shadow. A lot of us don't know how to do it. A lot of us are scared to do it. We're all on this healing journey. Not all of us are going to admit to being on the journey. If you are on my channel, and obviously you're on the journey, you are aware that you're on it. A lot of people might have clicked off already, just because healing is a hard thing. Not everybody wants to dig into their shadow, but unfortunately, you need to, because it is unfortunate, because it's really hard work. And because that is what's having the most impact on our day-to-day relationships, and we don't even know it, because our shadow is something that lives in the unconscious. It's all that stuff that's we buried about ourselves. It really is our true self that we need to heal, in order to get back to our authenticity. And so once we've done that, once we've dug into your shadow a bit, we're going to look at what needs, how you can heal this. And that kind of gives me a little bit more further information on what exactly is going on in your shadow that's coming up. And, I'm going to offer a few maybe suggestions myself on how you can heal it, but I'm going to wait and see what the tarot gives me. And then we're going to look at what the outcome is for you. What are you going to get out of this, Sagittarius? Because I know, healing's hard. And we don't always think that we're getting anywhere on this journey, but we are. And so we're going to discuss, what outcome will come from this healing of this particular situation that you're in. So let's begin here. I'm going to use the Rider-Waite deck, and then I'll clarify with the smaller Rider-Waite deck, and I'm going to pull a card from a spirit animal for you from the spirit animal deck at the end. So let's get started. I'm going to ask Tarot right now to give me 3 cards to get us started off for what situation you're in right now, Sagittarius. 3 cards, please, for what situation you're in. There's 1. 2 more, please. All right, so I got 1 and I got 2, and I'm going to ask for 1 more. Oh, there, it came out right away. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups in reverse for you. The Strength card, nice card to get right now. And the Moon. The Moon card, 2 major arcanas in the top row, which are big universal forces that we have on us. What needs healing? That's really impacting the situation that you're sitting with. So this one wanted to come out, the King of Swords. And I'm going to ask for 1 more card that needs healing. What is sitting in your shadow that needs healing? One more card, please. Okay, my hand is getting tired, or this deck is having a hard time, or I just can't shuffle these cards. Ooh, that one wanted to come out. It went back in. Okay, finally. Knight of Swords. 2 swords here. 2 swords. Interesting. That need healing. Okay, how can I heal this? How can I heal this, what's coming up here? From your shadow. 3 cards for that. There's one. That one flipped. 2 more, please. Two more. Okay, I'm going to take these 2 right here. Okay, so Queen of Cups in reverse. The Ace of Wands. And the 3 of Wands. And finally, 2 cards for what is the outcome. What's the outcome for Sagittarius? 2 cards. I always have to wet my finger because sometimes it's just really dry. Okay. What is the outcome? Oof, I thought that flipped. King of Cups came in reverse. And one more. Now we can get going with your reading. One more. Oh, there's 2 here, so I'm going to put them back in. One more, please. Nicely. Just dropped. The 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords. I have a tendency in my readings, and I apologize if you've ever seen this, but I have a tendency in my readings to say Wands for Swords. I'll read the card as the right card, but I'll call it something else. It's just, I'm getting a lot better. I'm catching myself with it. So, okay. I did a reading for you, your yearly reading in December, and it's linked in my description box. And in that reading, Sagittarius, I pulled out 12 cards for you, 1 for each month. And the card that you got in May is going to be our overriding energy for this reading today. And that is the 10 of Swords is the card you got. And so I want to look at this card because this individual here has 10 swords. Like he's at the end of his rope. Okay? He has 10 swords in his back. Now, it's very important to understand what swords mean in the suit of swords. The meaning of the suit of swords. The suit of swords is all about our mental energy. It's all about our mental thoughts. It's all about those things that we tell ourselves. Those things that are our belief systems about ourselves, right? They're those things that people might have told us when we were younger. We believed them. We put these masks on and we are these different people. We act this way because we're supposed to act this way because we're you know, we're really hiding a lot from people because of our belief systems that we have about ourselves that aren't true. And so what's happened here is, you know, 9 of Swords is about, you know, you're spinning in your head. This is the 10, but the 9 is about you're spinning in your head and it's keeping you up at night. And, you know what it's like when you can't stop your head from spinning. You have all these thoughts in your head. And finally, it's just, you know what, like you're absolutely done in these You can't handle this spinning anymore. Like, I remember often I'd often say, like, I just want to crawl under a rock and just die somewhere because I couldn't stand the spinning that was going on in my own head. And this is where you are right now. This energy of that, like, it's just this spinning in my head right here. And it's interesting because in your shadow, you have two swords. You have a king and you have a knight. So these mental thoughts that you have that are causing you so much pain in your head, they're in the shadow here. They're coming up in the shadow again. So we're gonna look at that, and that's gonna really explain a lot about why you're doing a lot of spinning, and where do these belief systems come from. And so let's start out with the Ace of Cups, which is in the first line. And this is where you're sitting right now. This is the situation you're sitting in. There is a new offer from the universe right now for you. It's a gift. Here you go. Here's an Ace of Cups for you. Here's the cup. And the cup is the cup of emotions. You know, that full range of emotions, that full 10 of cups that we're supposed to feel. Those emotions that are supposed to flow in and they're supposed to flow out of us. But often we humans don't like to feel our emotions, and we sometimes can get stuck on one particular emotion, like depression or anxiety, or even anger just gets stuck inside of us, right? And the universe is offering you a new chance, a new beginning, to start to feel again, to really dig deeper. Sometimes it can mean to go, if you know you're someone that does feel, is not afraid to feel their emotions. But this is kind of saying, either here's a new cup, here's an offer to start feeling your emotions, or let's just go a little bit deeper here, right? So it's all about emotions, but it's in reverse. And so I'm seeing here that there's a real resistance on your part to taking that cup. Some of us, have been on this journey for a while, this journey of healing, and, we're done. We're fed up. We've had enough. It's been too hard. Maybe some of us think that I'm done all my healing. Got no more to do. There's always healing to do. Always healing. You don't finish. You're just always healing. You're always growing. And so I don't know, whatever your situation is, but there's a real resistance to taking this cup and starting to feel again or going deeper. And the Strength card is right behind it. Beautiful Strength card. It's a Major Arcana card. Number 8 in the Major Arcana. And this individual right here has this strength. Like the lemniscate around this individual's head. It tells us like it's just, you have infinite amount of strength and you don't even know it. You have the strength to go inwards. Even though you don't know it, you don't feel it, you don't want it, you have it. And I think because the Strength card is coming in here, what it's telling me is that you're really feeling like you can't do this. Like you just can't. You're done. You're done. Overriding energy. And you feel like you can't go on. Maybe you're fed up. Maybe something has happened and you're depleted. And you don't want to feel again. You just don't. And the Strength says you can do this. You can go inwards. You have the strength. The Moon card comes out here. The Moon card talks about those things that are those things that are hidden. It talks about our unconscious. It talks about our intuition. What's intuition? Intuition is our built-in inner guidance system. It's a feminine quality that we all have. It doesn't matter what gender you are. It's a feminine quality that has been oppressed for a long time. It's our inner guidance. It's the guidance you get when you start to ground yourself and when you go back into the body and you start to feel. You have this inner guidance system that is going to help guide you. And this is what the universe wants to say. It's time now. Yes, you're feeling depleted. I know you don't want to feel anymore, but But you have the strength. You have the strength to go back in. And your inner guidance, if you listen to your inner guidance, your intuition, it's going to tell you where to go next or what to do. But there is just a real resistance here to even taking that cup. So what do you do when you're sitting here in that position where you're just feeling absolutely depleted? You don't want to feel anymore. You don't want to take that cup. What needs healing? What's coming up from your shadow? Why do you feel like this? What do you need to heal to get out of this? Well, you have the King and the Knight of Swords in your shadow. You have 2 swords energy. Again, swords is all about, we talked about swords in the beginning here, where you're depleted. Swords is all about, those belief systems that people, those things that people told you about growing up when you were young. All of those things. And those are the things that you remember. Those are the things that you have formed. It forms who you are. You have built your identity on what other people have told you about yourself. Everybody has. Everybody has built their identity on what other people have told you are. And so we spend the rest of our lifetime kind of clawing out of this and trying to figure out, who am I? Because the sword is all about your authenticity and getting back to who you really are. Cutting through all that bullshit that people told you about yourself. And the first card that comes out here that needs healing, that's in your shadow, is your King of Swords. And the King of Swords is, my kings in my deck are, all 4 of them represent the masculine part of us. Like I said, we all have a masculine part and we all have a feminine side to us. I talked about the feminine side with the moon. We have a feminine side and a masculine side. It does not matter what gender you are, but we have been living, pretty much, it's a patriarchal society, so we have been living in our masculine for a long time. And the feminine side of us has really been repressed. And she's starting to come back now, right? She's starting to really come back and show some of her true qualities that you have. She has and you have, which one of them being your intuition over here. But the King here is sitting in your shadow. And the King is our masculine part. The King is our ego. The King will say to you, and it's a belief system that you have, that, this whole business of getting back to who we are, being authentic, is bullshit. The King is petrified of emotions. The King wants you to continue to put on all those masks that people have asked you to wear when you were younger. The King wants you to continue. Your ego wants to continue to put on all those masks and please everybody that you meet. It wants nothing to do with authenticity. Nothing to do with authenticity. And so you have a real block here. Like your ego is blocking, this whole thing about authenticity and finding out who you are and getting into your, looking and listening to what's coming up from your shadow and doing any shadow work. And, just don't touch it. The King wants nothing to do with that. Your ego wants nothing to do with healing. Nothing. It wants status quo. It wants to stay where you are. And it does not want you to rock the boat by starting to, let's do a little bit of feeling here. This is what the universe is saying, And the Knight of Swords is right behind it. Now this is it's not the King. It's the Knight. The Knight is an adolescent part of you. It's an adolescent part of you that, and think about it for a second before you go, what the hell is she talking about? Everyone has this part that wants to be free, that wants to be authentic, that just wants to be themselves. Think of an adolescent. Think of an adolescent that wants to be free, wants to be themselves. You have that part in you still. What person doesn't want to be free? Period. And free to be themselves. This particular knight, he's the knight with the sword. He wants to be free. You know, he wants to be free of what everyone's told him. He wants to be authentic. Think of a teenager and how they just want to be themselves. They want to do what they want to do. And there's a part of you that's sitting in your shadow that wants freedom, that wants authenticity, that's screaming to be you. But you have your ego that's blocking that. I need to pull another card that just as a continuation from this Knight of Swords, a little bit more clarity here about this freedom, authenticity, wanting to be you. Let's pull one more card here and see what it's saying for me. Oh, wow. Okay. So, right behind that is the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles is my pages in my deck. All 4 pages are the younger part of us. This Knight is the adolescent part. This one is our inner children. Very younger part of you. There's a younger part of you here that, you know, that needs healing. A really younger part of you that needs healing. The Page of Pentacles. Pentacles is about the body. Pentacles is about our self-worth. Yeah. The pentacle itself is about the body and our self-worth. And so there's a real younger part of you that wants to be free. And there's also a very younger part of you that has some healing to do around self-worth and your worthiness. But you have this huge block. Your ego saying, we're not going there. Does not want you to deal with this authenticity part and finding out who you are. Does not want you to deal with this inner child that needs healing. And because when we get in touch with our inner children, when we start to heal, you know, we get back into our bodies and we start to feel, we're going to find our inner children have a lot of things to say to us. They know a lot. They remember everything, you know, that happened to us when we were children. These are things that you may not remember, but our inner children remember them. And yeah, so I'm seeing here that there's a real resistance to, and the ego will tell you that the shadow stuff is bullshit. It doesn't, it's not true. It's not real. There's no such thing as our unconscious. But, you know, there's a real party that wants the freedom to be you. And there's some healing that needs to be done here around it, about your self-worth and who you are. Because I think someone when you were younger might have told you that you weren't worth it, you know. Maybe there was some shame that you need to deal with here that around your worthiness. And so how can you heal this right here? These, especially, you know, this Knight that wants freedom and this little, you know, child of yours that needs to be heard, needs to be listened to, needs to be loved, and it needs to be healed. And so how can you heal? Well, the Queen of Cups comes in here, right? And the Queen is the feminine side to us. And she is the side that has been repressed for a long time now. And in an upright position, the Queen of Cups, the feminine side of us, the Queen of Cups in particular, loves emotions. She loves to experience life through her body by feeling all her emotions. Not just some of them, all of them. And she doesn't get stuck on them. Like she won't get stuck on depression for a long time or anger. She will feel that because emotions are meant to flow in and flow out of you. And so you can see how the water is flowing at her feet. Water signifies emotions and how they're meant to flow in and out. She loves the body. She loves emotions. Emotions live in our body. They don't live in our head. They live in our body. This ego right here, this King of Swords, he wants you to stay in your head because there's no emotions up there. But she's in reverse here, which means she's blocked. And so that's no surprise because your emotions are blocked. Because this ego, your ego will block them. if the ego is out, and because the ego wants nothing to do with it. And so this little Page of Pentacles here, to reach that inner child of ours, you have to get back into your body. You have to go. Queen says, well, she's blocked here. How do you heal this? Well, you get back into your body. What does that mean? You learn how to ground. You learn how to ground yourself. You learn how to get out of your head with all these mental, we talked about how you have so many mental belief systems here about yourself. Those mental belief systems that have done you in, that's what's causing you this unworthiness. That's what's causing you this unworthiness here that you're feeling. And yeah, the little Page of Pentacles, he's holding that out. This is what's causing it. So the Queen wants you to get back into your body. Wants you to start learning how to ground yourself, get out of your head and into your body, because that's where all the emotions are. They're not up here. The Ace of Wands comes in. Another ace here. So 2 offers from the universe. This one's upright. This is a gift from the universe. It's a gift to say, it's the gift of the wand. And the wand is all about creativity, like taking our life where we want to take it. Doing that one thing for ourselves that we've always kind of wanted to do. Going after our purpose, meaning in our life, And it sounds like you're wanting to do that with the trying to getting back to your authenticity and who you are. And so here's a new beginning for you. Here's a new beginning for you to go and figure out, what do you want to do with your life? What's the next thing you want to do? And sometimes when we're feeling this depleted in life, when we've come to the end of a cycle like this, I don't know what you've gone through, but you're definitely coming to an end of your cycle where you are done. And sometimes it's just the universe is just going, here's another chance right now. Here's a chance for you to pick yourself back up. Learn how to ground yourself. Learn how to get into your body. Because this new offer from the universe, this wand, that's an invitation to go into a different direction. Here's the 3 of Wands here. So I see here, because this comes up here, I see that this individual here is starting to plan something. You are starting to plan something. I think this is what's coming out of these 10 of Swords right here, that you've just, because this is the end. It's the end of a cycle, number 10. And, think the wheel turns, right? We finish one cycle of, I find that when I work through a lot of my stuff, it's like a cycle, a theme. And then when it's over, when you've processed everything and you've worked through it. And then you go into something new, your life, it takes you into a new direction. And I see here you starting, maybe you know what it is you want to do. And you're already starting to plan something, think about something. There's something there that you want to do. And then what's the outcome? What is the outcome here? So we've already said, you need to learn how to ground yourself. And that's going to help you to take you into the new direction. And what's the outcome here? Well, the Knight of Cups comes here. Another knight. And what did I say my knights are? My knights, what I call freedom fighters. They're fighting for freedom. This time it's a knight, and it's in reverse here. I'll talk about the reverse because that's important for knights. This is a knight carrying a cup. And the cup is all about love. It's all about our emotions. And so this is a knight who wants to be able to have some real, significant relationships in their life. And that could be anything from intimate to just, some casual friends. It's on a continuum here. But you're wanting to have the freedom to be able to, make some really good relationships in your life, to meet good people, and just take your life in a new direction. But that's blocked right now. So this knight wants the freedom to be able to do that. And this night is blocked. And so when I see that a night is blocked, it tells me that there's probably some real hopelessness or a bit of anger that needs to come out here. Anytime you think of an adolescent, when you tell them no and how angry they would get, because the night is an adolescent part. And so I think what's going to happen is once you get into that, starting to ground yourself and starting to feel again and finding out, who you really are and getting in touch with your inner child that needs healing. And I think what's going to happen is you're going to also start to get in touch with maybe some anger. And that's going to bring up some other emotions. And emotions are good. They're good. You feel them. You feel them. And that just makes space for something new. And I think what's really important here is this situation here that you've been in, this cycle that you've been in, that's really made you feel like you're all tied up, that you see no way out of. Because I think this is why you refused the cup at the beginning here. You want nothing to do with the emotions anymore because you're so depleted. And you don't feel like you have the strength to go on. But I think you're finally going to see that you can get out of this, right? You can get out of this. You didn't see it at the beginning, but once you start to ground yourself, get in touch with your inner child, you will start to see that there is a way out of this. Because I see with this Three of Wands, I see you planning something, and it's a new direction for you. So there are beautiful things that are going to come out of here. I see you realizing that you can step away. You can walk away from this. I know you don't see it now, but you can do it. This woman can walk away. Her feet are not bound by anything. And so let's end this with you, for you with a spirit animal card here. Let's have a spirit animal card. Oh, here it comes out. Okay, it's the beaver spirit. Beaver, you got the beaver. Number 6 is beaver spirit. Lay a solid foundation. Beaver spirit is here to tell you about a power within you that is born of spirit, the source from which all life arises. This is the power to establish the sacred connection with the universal consciousness and co-create the world you desire. Know that it takes work to lay a solid foundation for your dreams. And I think this is what this reading has been saying, that you have the strength, but it is going to take some work here on your part. If, with spirit as your partner, you bring the twigs and branches of your intentions and desires and spread them across the river of time, you'll be amazed at what you can do. That which you desire will come to you and will remain sustainably if you build on a sturdy foundation. Keep your intention and energy consistent and deliberate, using all your resources and the energy of this wonderful, productive time. Spirit is your partner, helping you along as you change the course of your life in the way your heart desires. And here's the Three of Wands here, changing the course of your life. I see it. I see you changing the course of your life. I know it looks like you've been through a heck of a time. You're feeling depleted. You have the strength. You can walk away. And I see you changing the course of your life. Take care, Sagittarius. Bye-bye.